Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you. Before we dive in, let's do a quick tech check to make sure everything is working smoothly for you. If you can see the title slide on your screen and can hear my voice clearly, please just type a quick yes or give a thumbs up in the chat. Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. It looks like we are good to go. Also, as we move through the presentation, please feel free to drop your questions you have into the chat at any time. We have a dedicated Q&A session at the end, but we'll keep an eye on the questions you post on the chat as well. Now, let's get started. We are thrilled to present the enterprise-ready multi-agent AI with Databricks and Royal Cyber. Today, we'll explore how to transform your data and policy into direct, decisive action using power of AgentBricks and MLflow. My name is Saurin Patel. I'm a data and AI engineer at Royal Cyber, and I'm thrilled to be presenting today alongside with my colleague Haider Jan, our principal data engineer for AI solutions. Heather will be guiding you through our live demonstration in a few minutes. And about Royal Cyber, for the past 2 decades, we have been at the forefront of technological evolution. We have seen it all from the rise of business intelligence to the dawn of generative AI era. And we haven't just watched from the sidelines. We have learned how to harness the power of each wave and turn it into real world production ready solutions for our clients. What does this look like into practice? It means we have team over 2,000 experts with more than 500 certified consultants who live and breathe on platforms like AWS, Azure, Databricks, Salesforce, SAP, and this allows us to stitch together truly seamless end-to-end solutions instead of handling you a pile of siloed tools. Our global presence handling you a pile with 10 plus offices worldwide means your critical issues are being solved around the clock thanks to our follow the sun model. We have delivered this value to over 600 clients from major retailers to and banks to pharmaceuticals innovators who challenged us to optimize for both performance and the bottom line. And because we are deeply partnered with every major tech player, we are already integrated into the ecosystem you trust. Our promise is this: we bring global scale, elite certification, and proven strategies to make your next optimization project a definitive success. Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with AI agent revolution and why this is a pivotal movement. We'll then explore why enterprises absolute need multi-agent systems. After that, we'll dive into Databricks control plane with AgentBricks for building agents and MLflow for governance. Then we'll look under the hood of an architecture deep dive of our demo. And once you see the blueprint, Heather will bring it to the life of with our insurance claim intelligence, and we'll wrap up by showing you how Royal Cyber can get you started, followed by a quick Q&A. So why everyone is talking about multi-agent now? Because the question has changed from how AI can help to how can we trust AI at scale. Gartner predicts that by 2026, 40% of enterprise AI will rely on multi-agent orchestration. And why? Because a single agent can't solve complex problems. You need an AI team that provides domain specialization, coordination and tool use, governance and explainability, and continuous improvement via MLflow. This is where Databricks comes in. The AgentBricks framework provides the build this teams, build this agent teams, and MLflow provides the governance to control and manage them. Before the multi-agent systems, the enterprise AI landscape was often chaotic. We had fragmented AI tools leading to inconsistent logic, significant data risk, and absolutely no audit trail. So this is what we call AI chaos or shadow AI, and it's massive source of cost and compliance gaps. But with the governed multi-agent systems built on Databricks, the picture changes completely. By combining AgentBricks with Unity Catalog and MLflow, we move to a state of control. Your AI becomes secure with data and tool access strictly controlled by Unity Catalog. Consistency, because you have defined consistent decision logic across all agents, and transparent, with every action evaluated and monitored by MLflow. You are moving from chaos to governed control. All right, let's look at the complex image you have in front of you, but think of it as a blueprint of trust. It all starts with Databricks Lakehouse. Your single source of catalog where security guard governing access to everything. Universal security guard governing access to everything. AI gateway securely connects to external models. You also see MCP, that is Model Context Protocol. This is powerful protocol that helps you to allow your agents to connect to and use external tools with the help of Databricks managed apps. It gives your agents the capability to external tools. While A2A protocol, we can see lets your agent collaborate with other agents in places like AWS Bedrock or Google's Vertex AI. And in center, there's the brain AgentBricks, where you design your agents and equip with tools like Genie or for structured data and vector search for unstructured documents. The whole process is watched by MLflow 3.0, the ultimate quality control system. This is the whole Databricks AI control plane. And AgentBricks, think of AgentBricks as the no code, low code design studio for your AI workforce in Databricks. It empowers you to create agents with click. You don't need to be a top tier programmer for it. And workflows, you can orchestrate multiple agents. This is crucial because you can create sophisticated systems where a supervisor agent coordinates specialized agents to solve complex problems just like a human manager. And equip agents with tools, you can easily give your agents access to your unique business systems and APIs, allowing them to take real action. And it's designed to take you from a prototype to production ready, scalable AI workforce securely. And we can see why we are choosing Databricks for agents. Because the power here is the native integration of the entire Databricks platform. This isn't just a builder tool, it's a complete unified lifecycle that eliminates the gap between the promising prototype and a governed production system. It flows build, you rapidly create agents in AgentBricks, evaluate, you use MLflow 3.0 for built-in rigorous evaluation framework, tracking everything. Deploy, you serve and auto-scale this agent securely with Databricks model serving, and govern with the Unity catalog every single component, the data, the models, the tools, and the responses, ensuring end-to-end compliance. And the outcome is powerful. You can build once, evaluate continuously, and deploy anywhere, all governed by design. Now let's make this real. Imagine the insurance industry, a world of complex data and even more complex rules. We call this use case the Claims Clarity Copilot. Consider the problem. An insurance agent gets a call from a frustrated member about a bill they thought that was covered. To answer this, the agent has to manually search through multiple disconnected systems, leaving the member on hold. At the same time, a billing coordinator at a hospital sees a denied claim. The reason code is vague. The actual rule is buried in 200-page policy manual, and this manual process slows down the payments for everyone. Our goal is to automate the answer to crucial to critical question, and they both have like why was this claim denied or how do we appeal for it. And with our solution, instead of a manual search, they simply ask Claims Copilot get an instant and clear cited answer. On the left over here, we can see the daily pain points, the manual lookups, disconnected systems, inconsistent answers, and a total lack of an audit trail. On the right, we bring our own multi-agent orchestration solution with the help of AgentBricks and Databricks components with the help of a Genie agent that is an expert on the structured claims data, the numbers, the dates, the codes, and also with the knowledge assistant that retrieves. It's an expert on unstructured data that like like policy PDFs and appeal rules. And the one we have a supervisor agent that orchestrates both, getting the data from Genie and the rules from the knowledge assistant to form a complete answer. MLflow 3.0 governs the entire process, tracking accuracy, cost, and latency, ensuring every answer is auditable and explainable. We have taken a process that took hours or weeks or months to reduce it to seconds with confidence, clarity, and compliance. This works because we treat every different data types with specialized experts. The Genie over here is the data agent, handles the structured transactional data, claims like example of claims tables, provider data, member data, and the challenge here is the volume and complexity. Answering a question requires joining multiple tables in real time. Meanwhile, the knowledge assistant is the policy expert. It handles the unstructured knowledge document, dense policy manuals, and internal guides in PDF format. The challenge here is in rows and columns. It's extracting the correct clause from paragraphs of dense legal jargon. The magic is here is the Databricks Lakehouse is the unified solution that holds both types of data governed by Unity Catalog, providing a single source of truth for our entire AI team. Over here, we can say that an AI agent without governance is just a black box, and you can't run a business on a black box. MLflow 3.0 is the trust layer that makes it enterprise ready. It allows you to track performance and cost, compare and improve. And as the diagram shows, it's a continuous loop. You can test during development, monitor in production, and use feedback to iteratively improve the quality. MLflow transforms an AI from a risky black box into a governed enterprise-ready asset. Here, the diagram shows that the feedback loop is in more detail. From your production app, traces and user feedback are constantly collected. MLflow helps you to monitor production, identify issues, and use the data to build better evaluation data set. You can iterate them on your app, track the changes, and evaluate the new version until you can definitely say, yes, the quality has been improved. The entire process is supercharged by an expert review, ensuring your AI aligns perfectly with your business needs. Now that we understand all the pieces, let's look into the full architecture. Data flows from your CRM and knowledge bases through Lakeflow ingestion pipeline into your Databricks Lakehouse with bronze, silver, gold table of readiness. Unity Catalog governs it all. In the Mosaic AI block, the multi-agent orchestration in Databricks AgentBricks is the star. It calls on the Genie structured data Q&A and assistant for insurance policy documents. Once an answer is formulated, it goes to the agent evaluation block where MLflow 3.0 uses a scoring system, evaluation data, and feedback to ensure every response is accurate, traceable, and ready for enterprise. And now Haider will show you exactly what this looks like in action. Haider, over to you.
Thank you, Saurin. Um, Please give me a second for me to share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible, if I can get a thumbs up or anything. Awesome. So, so I've got this home page of Databricks pulled up on my screen. Now I have the home page pulled up. On the left, you see a column of all the endpoints you can, or all the features of Databricks you can access. Uh, the one that we are going to be concerned with is AgentBricks, since that's the purpose of this webinar. But you see here, it's still in the beta version. Just pointing that out. It's not in general availability. But we've still made quite an impressive solution using AgentBricks. I mean, whatever Databricks makes is extremely solid. Um, but before that, what I want to actually focus on is the scenario, right, as Saurin described. So let me start by setting a sort of a stage for the demo. As Saurin mentioned, that in the insurance space, both providers and insurance agents, they all deal with a flood of highly repetitive and data heavy questions, right? Things like, what part of this claim was denied? Like, this might be a question that is posed by a policyholder to an insurance agent, right? Other question can be, what's covered under my plan? Or why is my bill so high? All of us are very concerned, right? You know how the insurance party goes in the US. So traditionally, answering these questions pulling requires pulling information from policy documents, from claim databases, and explanation of benefits of EOB statements. And these data sources or data touch points are spread throughout the source systems of that insurance company, right? They might have something set up in cloud, some of their data sources might be on-prem, uh, but yeah, that's how they're spread. So this is a perfect fit for an agentic AI architecture, where we can split responsibilities between specialized AI agents. Again, because we're going to propose a multi-agentic solution to this issue. Each of this AI agent is going to be specialized in their own knowledge, and they'll be an expert. One of them will be an expert on getting the right information from the policy documents, and or forwarding that information to the claims agent, and then of course the information will flow back to the supervisor agent, like you saw in the architecture. So it's a collaborative team based uh, co-pilot, right? But without a further ado, let me get to the main part of it. On this space, I clicked on agents, and now I'm in the tab where I can see the agents that I've created. One of them is the knowledge assistant that we'll use for the explanation of benefits and policy manuals. And the other one is a multi-agent that leverages the knowledge agent. After I click on it, you can see the multi-agent and that its endpoint has been deployed. Uh, its MLflow experiment gets automatically tracked in MLflow. So all the evaluations that are done are automated, but you can set up your custom evaluations as well. Over here, you can see the descriptions we have given to the supervisor agent, right? We we are describing all the agents that are under this supervisor agent, which the supervisor agent can access, share information with in order to get the right output back. All of that information is fed to the supervisor agent, its description and prompt message. And over here, we have two endpoints. One of them is a knowledge assistant, like I showed on the previous page. The knowledge assistant is a policy and coverage intelligence agent for the insurance claims copilot, right? It has all the policy information, multiple PDFs, all indexed through the AgentBricks' automated indexing and vector search dump system. We don't have to configure anything. We just have to describe what the agent can do and then provide it with multiple files. The other agent that we have under the supervisor is the claims agent. Now, this is a SQL agent, right? This is an agent that plays with the structured data, plays with the database, formulates SQL queries, and gets the right information from that table, one that should be pertinent to the prompt uh, we are going to try in a few seconds. In the optional tab, you can see you can provide multiple, uh, instructions to the entire AI system, how its tone should be, what it should recommend, how many information sources should it cite, all of that. Let's go and test our system, what it can provide or what it can do. So for that, I'll go to the playground. And after I go to the playground, I'll just choose my multi-agent system from here. Here it is. Let me select that and use endpoint, right? Let me start start typing a question uh, which is going to be from the claims domain, right? So it's the kind of inquiry an agent or a provider, an insurance agent or a provider might raise internally, right, after talking to a policy member. So the question is, let me copy it from my clipboard. So let's say we have a person who has made a complaint on them not receiving a full detailed bill on a claim that they have filed because they went to the hospital or something. So Emerson Singh had a claim received on 7/4/2025. She says that she's on a gold HMO plan and was cared for by Dr. Alex Adams. Can you tell me the details of what was billed and how much was paid by her? Give a detailed report. Now, this is a question that that the insurance agent needs information to in order to talk to the policyholder. Let's see how it goes about this question. So the multi-agent has forwarded the request to the Genie Space agent claims. It's going to see what was filed on 7/4/2025 and what are the details of that claims and what is the provider name, right? All that information will be taken care of. And obviously there are going to be multiple handoffs. Now it's handed off to the claims agent again. The claims agent uh, gets back to the supervisor agent, and the supervisor agent says that based on the data retrieved, here's the detailed billing report for Emerson Singh's claim. We get the claim ID, the billing breakdown, and accurate details. The amount billed was this much. The insurance insured allowed amount was this much. The member responsibility is this, and some of the key findings are presented. Uh, so after receiving this information, the insurance agent can now easily talk to the policy holder and cater to whatever details they might require. Let me try one question from the provider's perspective. So this is a doctor who is registered with an insurance company, and they're concerned about getting their claims denied, like their services that they've provided uh, that have cared for a certain patient are being denied. So, so the query goes, my name is Dr. Mason Chen. I need all the imaging MRI services which I have performed that were denied. List all of them with the reasons. It says it forwards this to the claims agent again. The claims agent will have all the information about all the services that Dr. Chen has provided. It details all of them in a table format, which looks very clean. You can go in and see all it lists down the name of the columns as well, which is pretty neat. And it now has all the claims that were denied. We have the billed amount. Know that I actually didn't even mention about the billed amount, but it still gave me a detailed report, key findings, all of these. Now, the question was, um, list all of them with their reasons, right? List all the denied claims with the reasons. Why were these claims denied? So these are all the claims that were denied. The key findings are that the 100% of denials are due to missing prior authorization. Now, this is something required by the providers to do with the insurance company before they start working. The recommended actions are implement PA verification process before scheduling MRI services, appeal eligible claims, contact patients. All of this information then comes from the knowledge assistant that has information about all the policies, authorizations, and instructions for the provider before they start, taking care of a certain patient. Now, both of these questions was from a claims perspective, right? Claims data, structured data perspective. Let me see if my multi-agent can answer a question like this, right? Is the knee replacement surgery covered under the silver PPO plan? Now, I might be concerned. The insurance manual wouldn't provide such a you know such a detail for me. So I call the company, and the insurance agent start uh, talking to me, and I ask him if a knee replacement surgery is covered. Instead of them parsing through multiple documents, number one, they might also already know an answer to the question, but see how quickly all of this data is pulled up. You can also, meanwhile, check what the knowledge system is thinking behind the box, right? It's searching for comprehensive health insurance guide, um, silver PPO plans covered, covers orthopedic surgery, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, we get the results. The results are, yes, knee replacement surgery is covered under the silver PPO plan. You'll first pay your $2,000 deductible, then $20 co-insurance, and we also have footnotes. These footnotes are, they come out of, these are configured out of the box. Whenever you create a knowledge assistant, it'll always produce footnotes. This is for, reliability purposes. So that you know that your agent is not hallucinating. It's citing the correct information from the policy document or any knowledge sources that you've given it, right? Yeah, so another question, I can play all day with this agent and start asking and keep asking questions, but this was just one part of it, right? This was just one part of creating the multi-agent. The webinar is about how do we make these agents enterprise ready. Creating the multi-agent system is one part of it. The second part is actually having guardrails. Now, why do you need guardrails? Well, we want our AI system to be answering within a specific domain space or a specific answer space, right? It can't keep citing information. It can't cite information without legitimate citations, right? It shouldn't be giving stuff from its own uh, general knowledge. This is where the improve quality button comes in. So let's go to improve quality. This is a very neat, I would say, a neat feature that Databricks have built, and this pertains to agent learning. So behind the scenes, in what happens in the improve quality tab is that you provide some questions and some guidelines, right? So for this question, let's say I said, how should I understand my explanation of benefits? A question like this is posed towards a multi-agent. Now I want the guidelines for this, for the output of such a question to be like this. So keep the answers concise, use simple language, and ensure tones professional and empathetic. Avoid jargon like adjudication or disbursement. You didn't see any of those in my outputs, meaning that my agent is actually listening to the guidelines that I provide for a certain question. Now, another guideline that I provided was show all denied claims. This was a question. Show all denied claims for a given provider with the denial codes and descriptions. And the guidelines for answering this question is that it should be retrieving structured data accurately. It should include denial codes and reasons formatted in a clear table-like style. All of these guidelines for all these so you have to make sure that your questions are general. You don't have they shouldn't be specific, because you don't want to overfit your agent about overfit certain questions to your agent, right? That might make it hallucinate. So the questions should be general, and the guidelines actually help the agent understand how to answer. So when you put your questions and guidelines in the improve quality tab, at the back end, an optimization script is run automatically by Databricks, and it makes your agent perform according to the guidelines. This is a very cool feature. Think of it as a few short examples that you might give your agents in the system prompt itself. But over here, you can actually have them listed out. You can actually save them in a Delta table, and you can actually then have a lineage on all of this data. That is where the Unity catalogs Delta table feature we can leverage, right? So this is one way to optimize our agents or improve the quality. But then once you think that your agent is giving some sort of good responses, the next step is to actually measure them. Now, how do we measure them? We measure them through MLflow, like it was shown in the architecture. So I actually had prepared a script for evaluating my agents, for evaluating my multi-agent. The script is actually code heavy, so I'll just go through it pretty, I'll just sift through it. So in the beginning, I just call the deployed agent that is on the model serving. What I do next is I just ping the agent and I say, hi, what can you do? Just to see if it's working, it's giving me the right response, giving me some sort of a response, and just to check the latency. The next thing, after I set my agent endpoint, I set the MLflow experimentation framework, where I first create a function that is going to be used for generating predictions, and I set up all the traces so that I know that for every prompt that I shoot at my agent, I'm getting all the traces, the latency, the tokens, uh, what was the output, the context taken into perspective, all of that. And then I provided with some evaluation data. So these are the questions that I'll be evaluating my agent on. One of the question is, what is the average member responsibility per plan type? Questions like these. What is the out-of-pocket maximum for the silver PPO plan? Or let's say a claim for MRI brain went without contrast under the gold HMO plan, uh, was denied with this code. All of these are going to be evaluation questions that are going to be passed to my agent for evaluation. And then I set up some scorers. So one of my scorer is the output should be relevant to the query um, that is given to it, right? I want my output to be relevant. I want my output to be safe. I want the agent to reply in a professional manner. And then I want answer completeness, right? I want uh, all the, all the, you know, aspects of the query answered and taken care of by the agent. You can set up custom scorers yourself, and I'll show you in a minute how to do those. After I actually start the evaluation run, I get details for every scorer or for every prompt that I ran. So these scorers are, this is a huge part of MLflow. These are out of the box scorers, and what are these called are basically called LLM judges. So behind the scorer, there's an LLM judge that is running, that is going to be evaluating my response based upon the scoring method. So let me shift to the experiments tab and see what experiment was performed. This is the experiment that I performed, and I didn't perform just one experiment, I performed 3 experiments. Over here in the traces, I can see the request that was made. Let me click on one of those. So one of the question that I asked was that a claim for MRI brain without contrast was denied with this code, missing prior authorization. Can you confirm if this service required prior authorization? I got the output in this format. And you see that some of my scorers said that it wasn't complete. One of the scorer for completeness said that it wasn't complete. This response is not complete. Let me see why. So I click on this, and it gives me the rationale for why this output was not complete. It says the response confirms that MRI brain scans require prior authorization, which addresses the user's concern whether prior authorization is needed, etc., etc. Then I see that this response was professional, and it said yes, it was professional. I also see the rationale for that. Relevance to query, yes, it was relevant, and safety, of course, it abides by all the safety standards nowadays for AI. The thing about these LLM judging scorers is that you can actually go in and check why this output wasn't complete and actually change your system prompt, or go to the improve quality tab and improve or provide guidelines or and a question pair to the LLM, and the Databricks will optimize your agent accordingly. So, and I did exactly that. So let's go to the evaluations tab and see how I did that. Let me compare my run, one of my latest runs to one of my latter runs. So this is the latest run. It's called it's called abrasive mitch, and I'll compare it to the latter run that I did. Uh, it's called mysterious zebra. Some weird names. And so you can see that the dark red is actually the latest run, and the shocking red is the latter run. And you can see some improvements over here. For completeness, one of for completeness, both of them failed. So I have to go back and check why it failed. I can hover over it, and it'll still tell me why it failed. But you see, in relevancy, in the previous run, it failed, whereas in the latest run, it passed. And you can see the small arrow over here indicating an upward trend, meaning that my response improved with regards to relevance. Same is the case for completeness in the second question, which was, um, yeah, the question was, we received a denial for physical therapy under the silver PPO plan. The response was an entire table, and a detailed assessment says that it was relevant, it was safe, it wasn't complete though. So it provided a table, but it didn't actually, summarize the table, so which it should have done. And it wasn't professional. You can't just provide a table and say, and ask the user to read it, right? It has to be summarized as well. That adds to the trust part. So it wasn't professional, so I have to go back and improve the agent. But this is a very neat way of seeing your agent perform. uh, some of the LLM judges scores that can be used with their reasoning rationale to see why your agent failed where, and then improve it. You can improve it actually drastically. So there's a lot of transparency that you can keep track of. On the right, I have labeling over here. A labeling session is something that you can set up for your SME or subject matter expert. And what you can do over here is that I haven't actually set up a labeling session, but it's quite easy to set up. You just have to get some of your trace data, or you can, yeah, the simplest thing is to just add your trace data, like select some of your traces and then transfer them to the labeling session. Once you transfer it to the labeling session, you can share the link for the labeling session with your subject matter expert, where they can actually start a labeling session and start giving feedback on the responses of the Copilot agent. Now, this feedback again will be used in the backend by the uh, LLM optimizer function, which will optimize our multi-agent system. Um, yeah. So I guess this was all from the perspective of the demo. Um, Now let me get back to the presentation slide. I'll just start sharing my presentation. Let me first unshare my screen. Cool. Let me start uh, presenting. Give me a second, please. Right. Share. So this was the solution architecture that Saurin talked about before the demo. MLflow is a major component of making your AI agents enterprise ready, like I showed. There's end-to-end traceability, evaluations, feedback, uh, scorers and judges that we talked about. You can also set up your custom scorers, like I shared in the demo. And this is mainly done through the Databricks Mosaic, through the Databricks MLflow 3.0 SDK, which you can use to create custom scorers. You can have math functions running at the backend as custom scorers. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. There's a lot of knobs and buttons you can push around and tweak so that your agent is compliant to the requirements of the SOPs of your organization. Let me go ahead. What we learned in the end was that there's a lot that is being offered by the Databricks platform nowadays, especially with AgentBricks and the new features that are currently rolling out every day. Honestly, every time I open the AgentBricks platform, I see almost one new feature added every week, and it's amazing the sort of answers these agents are giving, even though they're in beta version, right? They'll be rolling out the general availability quite soon. But then again, we learned AgentBricks plus MLflow and how they provide a governed AI lifecycle, how multi-agent systems solve complex business problems like I did in our case. And just give me 1 second, please. And then we'll now get to how Royal Cyber can actually help you reach your agentic AI vision. What do we offer? So Royal Cyber is a company that has been at the forefront of agentic AI since the past 2 years, I would say. We have provided multiple clients solutions regarding to multi-agentic workflows that they have applied to their workflow pipelines that they had in place. We also provide advisory and strategy on how you should go about integrating your business workflows so that that data can actually get AI ready for AI implementation. And we also work a lot, like Saurin said, we actually live on these platforms like Databricks, Azure Databricks, AWS, Microsoft Azure, uh, and Google Cloud. So we are at the forefront of this, and we're quite proud of that fact. How do we enable enterprise AI? Well, when we're talking about Databricks, the two major features of Databricks that allow you to make your AI enterprise ready is MLflow, and of course, governance with Unity Catalog, right? Unity Catalog is essentially a meta store which keeps track of all your data, may that be your evaluation data for agentic AI or your tables that your Genie space is manipulating to get you an answer that you require. Uh, all of it, even your ML models or AI models that are currently being served on your data serving endpoints. So I think we are good to go for any questions. If you guys have got any questions, please feel free to ask them. These questions can be related or unrelated to the webinar. Feel free to just shoot at us. So we'll wait for another 5 minutes if I think we have a question in the chat. Oh, it's not a question. Okay.
Yeah, we have one question here. It says, how does AgentBricks ensure safety and compliance in enterprise environment? Well, for this, all runs inherit Databricks Unity Catalog governance for data and model access, plus MLflow safety scoring for content moderation. You can define guardrails as Heather showed, uh, like the scorers or the safety guidelines, and enforce them during the evaluation and even during at inference time. So this ensures your response remains compliant with the corporate or regulatory requirements, and you can set up accordingly, especially the important sectors for the insurance or the healthcare is very important for the guidelines, and it needs to be set up as per the requirement of it. So Databricks, MLflow, and Unity governance can help a lot in this, and it's a enterprise ready solution they provide with help of these two components.
Do we have any other questions on it?
The other one is AgentBricks open source or Databricks only? Heather,
All
can
right,
you answer that?
yeah, I'll answer that. So AgentBricks is not open source like you can see other agentic frameworks like Creo AI and LangGraph. These are just libraries, right? Creo AI and LangGraph. AgentFlow is actually catered to end through the with the Databricks compute. So it's not just a library or an SDK. It's configured with the Databricks compute and the and with the Unity catalog. So yeah, but it's a fully managed by Databricks, and it's not open source.
Also, we have one more. How does AgentBricks handle retrievals? Can I use my own vector store or index?
Interesting question. Yeah, this is a good one. So for now, yes, you can actually have your own vector store paired up with your LLM for your AI agent. So you can have something like FAISS or Pinecone, or you can have a Cosmos DB endpoint vector store, or you can use the Mosaic AI vector store to have your agent have access to your indexed information.
That's perfect.
I think if that is it, thank you so much, guys, for coming. Let me open up the thank you slide. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for visiting. And thank you for your questions and your patience. Uh, we look forward to having you guys again in the near future in our next webinar that we have on the 5th of November. The exact details, the topics, and the descriptions will be provided and will be aligned with you in a span of about 2 to 3 days. So keep a watch out for that as well. Thank you so much for coming, and yeah, uh, we look forward to meeting you guys soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.